So, have you ever had a moment in your life where you felt like you had no motivation whatsoever to do anything? A moment in your life where you had all the self-doubt simply because you were passionate about something, but you lost it all. That was me, entering middle school. It was so typical of everybody in middle school to have this one thing that they're really good at, this one thing that they're really passionate about, or this one thing that they just have a natural aptitude for. But what if you don't have that one thing? Or what if you don't know that one thing that you're supposed to be good at? Or what if your passions don't line with something that you're supposed to have a natural aptitude for? That was me. My passions didn't align with something that I enjoyed. So no matter how hard I tried or worked for it, it seems that I would never be good enough, or that my self-doubt and insecurities would get the better of me, making me incapable of doing something that I just wanted to do. Because apparently people told me I didn't have a talent for it, or apparently that it was all worthless in the end. I struggle a lot with this, and I was only 11 at the time. I didn't know what else to do. I used to find myself struggling to have the words, and I find myself envying my friends, even if it's subconscious. I had a friend who was really artistic. She would draw all the time. One was really musically gifted. The other could memorize every single thing from the periodic table without a second thought. And I wish, wow, I really knew what I was good at, because I didn't. And something that I was passionate about, for example, art. It was not something that I was gifted as. No matter the amount of competition I would join, and no matter how many times I tried, it didn't work out for me. I would still struggle and cry myself to sleep every day, thinking about what should I do, because I didn't know what I was good at. This led me to my downfall, because though I may be able to reach the river, I would never be able to cross it. This made me feel insecure. I wasn't good at something. It then led me to a point in my life where I had no motivation whatsoever. My academic grades were below the bottom, and I started to think that I was worth nothing. But people like me, or like everyone else, I get back up. I eventually let go of all of my doubts and insecurity, and once again, do something that I'm passionate about. This time, I thought, hey, it doesn't matter if I'm good or not. At least I enjoy the process. So, how did I do this? Well, through video games. I'm sure some people in the audience would enjoy video games too. So, okay, so how did I do this? I started to do video games. Something I'm really passionate about. Something I do even more than schoolwork itself. The only thing that keeps me going on every day on end without stopping. Some people say it's bad, but I personally just enjoy it because it makes me feel happy. So I started applying something that I'm really passionate about, like video games, into my goals in real life, so I would be able to get back to it again. So step one was progress bars. So this is a progress bar. I do it so good. Anyways, so to reach the goal that you want to, you would have to need a progress bar to see how long it would take for you to reach. How long it would take for you to reach the end, your starting point, and when. Be specific about your goals. It needs to be small, it doesn't have to be too big. If it's too hard for you, then you're probably gonna give up on it before you even try. So start out with a small goal, set clear standards and boundaries. So then you would know when you would be able to start and stop. Just like in a video game, where you know the amount of levels you have to reach before it ends. Step two, adjust the level of difficulty. In video games, there's usually an easy, medium, and hard level. And the developers would make the video games not so easy that you would quit, and not too hard that you would quit. They would make it easy enough, but for you to have to put a little bit more effort into trying to reach your end goal. So apply it to real life, your goals. For example, If you were to study for 10 hours straight, then that would practically be almost impossible, as you would think that it's too hard to reach. But how about starting with 2 hours of studying? Then you would think that, oh, I could probably reach it. So you put effort into it. So you would start off with your goals. Step 3. After doing or trying to reach your goals, or after completing a single task, then you would have to reward yourself with something. This would get you into the habit of thinking, hey, I could probably do this. And after doing something that you think is good for you, you would reward yourself by saying that, oh, after a week of exams on end, and after you have finished all your exams and thought you did a good job at it, maybe go shopping, or get yourself Starbucks, or do something that you really like that you would probably think that you're just procrastinating on doing it. So reward yourself with your accomplishments and be happy that you've achieved something at the end. Okay, so finally, after reaching one small goal, turning into another goal, you finally reach your end goal. So you will no longer have the feeling that, hey, your mindset would push you down, or you would no longer have the motivation to do something. Because after you put your motivations from something, or get inspirations from something you're passionate about, to put it into your motivations to achieve your goals, then you would be happy. It doesn't only have to apply to games. That's just my personal opinion on how I managed to get through with this. It can also be music or something you really like. Only doing these steps help me to be able to become a better person day by day. I do it with volleyball. I love volleyball, but I lack the enthusiasm to do it as much as I love video games. So, practice matches for me turn into boss fights. Or for my math exams, I don't like math, but I still do it. So, math equations turn into level ups or PowerPoints, just like in video games. So, at the end of a journey, we're like an Italian plumber that has finally saved a princess, or a main character who has traveled the entire world for 500 years and finally reunites with their long-lost twin. You may finally reach your end goal and finally win, because your motivations, something that you're good at, doesn't define who you are. It's the motivation and your mindset on how you get through things that do define who you are. Thank you.